Hey everybody, it's Kristin Thompson, and we are live with the Highly Visible Entrepreneur Series. I am here with my friend David Newman. David, thanks for joining me today.
Kristin, great to be here.
So excited. I've been having a rip-roaring time as we have just kicked this series off this week. We're going for 10 full days of free content live every weekday this week and next, bringing you some of my favorite people. I basically reached into my Rockstar Rolodex and asked and personally invited a hand-picked group to train all of you for free for 10 days, all on how to get highly visible and not just run around wearing yourself out getting visible, but strategically get visible and know how to convert in those moments. How do you convert that visibility into revenue and more business for you? So I'm thrilled about this series. I love its intention. It's helping a lot of people already. And I am absolutely thrilled with my guest today. I was recently invited to be featured on his podcast, and I will share with you what I shared with David at the time. I said, this has got to be one of my most favorite interviews. So if you have not subscribed after today's interview, be sure to go on David's page, check him out, subscribe to his podcast. It was absolutely amazing. You'll learn a lot, and you'll also learn what a great interviewer is because he's just absolutely amazing. If you haven't met David yet, he is the founder of Do It Marketing. It is a marketing and mentoring firm that works exclusively with speakers and experts. So you know why I invited him on now. He is also the creator of the Speaker Profit Formula mentoring program, and he hosts the top podcasts that I mentioned for experts who speak professionally, and a top 50 business podcast on iTunes. If you didn't know, it's called The Speaking Show. I definitely make sure that you do check that out and subscribe. But before you go anywhere, you want to stay and listen to this free training because I'm going to be extracting some golden nuggets very gently from David today. It shouldn't hurt too much. And if you are tuning in, thank you, Susan. Susan's been awesome joining us every weekday so far. You're going to have to win a prize or something, Susan. We appreciate you. If you're watching, please be kind. I've been saying all week, a rising tide lifts all ships. So if you would share this 3 places and be sure to comment down below, say hi, let us know where you're tuning in from, or let us know if you've been keynote speaking or if you want to be keynote speaking. And as we're going along, I will try to be checking the comments for questions that you have as David is speaking. So I'm happy to kind of pop your questions into the conversation as well. David, I'd love for you to start by just letting people know, how do you describe what you do?
Sure. Well, and thank you for that great intro.
Yeah.
So we work with speakers, experts, coaches, consultants who want to have a speaking-driven business, meaning we sort of put speaking in a bigger box. And it's about if you have something to say, something to sell, if you sell your ideas, if you market your smarts, and that's how you make a living, that is what I call a speaking-driven business. Yeah. And obviously, there's a couple of different speaking models. And Kristin, you're totally awesome at the model that you teach. And we teach the fee-paid speaking, keynotes, seminars, workshops, corporate training, kind of getting inside corporations, associations, groups, and conferences that will write you a check to speak, and then maybe also write you a check because you spoke. And there may be some clients hiding in that audience, which I know is Kristin's favorite thing. That conversion where she's a total genius. But I like getting paid on the front end and on the back end.
Why not? Hey, if you can make more money, I always say yes to that opportunity.
Right.
So smart. I love that. And I'm kind of curious because I know when we talked before, you were kind enough, you were focusing on me and my business, but I don't know if I've heard your story about kind of how you got started keynote speaking.
Sure. Well, so I started, my corporate career was 10 years as an inside consultant, trainer, speaker. I worked for big HR management consulting firms. I worked for big technology consulting firms, went out on my own, January 2002, made every mistake in the book. I had no topic. I had no niche. I had no expertise. I had no list. I had no clients. I had no clue. It was bad. I literally went out, Kristin, with 30 different workshop topics, literally jack of all trades, master of none. people would say, so David, what do you speak on? And my standard answer was, no. You don't understand. I'm a professional speaker. What do you need spoken on? And whatever you need spoken on, I'll go to the library, I'll get a book, and tomorrow, boom, there's your program. Yeah. So it was a long, hard, slow, painful road. Before I realized what we teach today, of course, is niche, specialize, drill down, and really own the mountaintop of your target market and your niche topic, because experts win on value and generalists die on price. And I spent 3 years dying on price and just lowballing, underpricing, under-earning, all the crazy stuff that our clients today struggle with. And then I realized, okay, what do I really love to do? Where do I get the most energy? Where do I get the most satisfaction? Regardless of the money, where do I get the most energy?
Yeah.
And when I asked that question, it was really all about marketing, sales, and business development. Those other 27 workshop topics, I was not passionate about. I was not excited about.
Yeah.
If people are wondering, like, how do I dial in my topic? How do I know, quote unquote, what sells or what I should be doing out there as a paid professional speaker? Very quick model for you. 3 circles. Circle number 1 is who are you passionate about as an audience to serve? It always starts with who.
Yes.
Second circle, you have to overlay circles 1, 2, and 3. Second circle is, what is that topic or what is that expertise that you're passionate about sharing? And then the third circle is the most important connection, going back to your first question, which is the who. What are those people passionate to learn, do, or become? And the overlap of those 3 circles is where you're going to have the most impact, make the most money, and have the most fun.
I love that. And if you hear me click clacking away, it's because I'm recapping some of your nuggets and putting them into the comments.
Yeah.
I'm not typing my grocery list. I love what you just said, because it's very close to how I describe it as well. Is there's this trifecta of, what are you really great at? Your expertise that you already have. Who do you want to serve? Because that helps you create your niche and where you want to zero in and who you're going to be happy working with, which is different for all of us. And then the third piece always being, what do they want to buy? Meaning, what will they happily invest in to solve a problem? Because you can't make the market want something that they don't want, right? So that's awesome. I love that. It absolutely works. And do let us know your questions as we go through in the comments. And hi, Aurora. Hi, Terry. Hi, Ann. Remember, if you share this 3 times, we definitely will appreciate it. I will enter you to win, Community Room and a ticket to the Rise live event. You'll be entered to win. So everybody this week will be put into a drawing. We so appreciate you. We are teaching visibility, but we're also modeling visibility at the same time. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
And by the way, when you guys share, you become more visible to the people who follow you.
Oh, what a good point. Ding, ding, ding. Leave it to David to find a golden nugget in there. I love it. You get more visible. Same thing with testimonials. I always tell my clients, when you join somebody's course or a program, or you're in a coaching program with someone, strive to be a great success story and give them a great testimonial, because isn't that a great way to get visible and get clients?
Love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. Well, and also, as your group starts to get bigger and bigger, I think it's really important when people ask you to endorse a book, or they ask you to give them a LinkedIn recommendation, or they ask you to comment or post. Sometimes our biggest, or even Amazon reviews. Here's a quick nugget while Kristin's getting the pooch. Go onto Amazon, find the top 10 biggest and best-selling books in your topic or your niche, and leave an Amazon review for each and every one of those best-selling books. Because those best-selling books, they're in the top 10 for marketing, top 10 for leadership, top 10 for customer service, top 10 for strategy, top 10 for parenting, top 10 for financial smarts. Those get a ton of traffic. And if your review is there, guess what? Your name, your profile, your brand is featured on the world's biggest shopping platform.
I love that. And thank you for letting me shush my doggy. I was telling David before we started, I have this habit of feeding the squirrels in my yard. And then a few of them have kind of they'll come all the way up to the door and say, hello, give me a peanut. And then my dog goes crazy. So I apologize for that. I love that tip, by the way, about Amazon. That's so awesome. Somebody go do that today. Honestly.
Oh, they're there. They're there now. They have a tab open. They're typing away right now.
I love it. I love it. But don't miss these tips, because this is hot stuff David is throwing down for us today. So you've shared a little bit about how you kind of shifted from corporate into keynote speaking and really dialing into what you love and what you're great at and what people want. And that great trifecta that you shared with everybody else to figure out their topic, help you uncover yours as well. So if we zero in on keynote speaking, and just for some reason you don't know what that is, that's when a group or organization is going to pay you to come and share your message. And it is a great way to, of course, build your authority, get visible, create revenue, all of those things. But where do you see people getting stuck? Like either someone brand new, or maybe someone who's been trying and it's like not really working. What are some of the common missteps?
Oh my gosh. So this is this happens to be a 3-hour segment in the
Exactly. Right? We'll be here for the next week straight.
Exactly. Okay. Well, I think the first part has to do with a strategic decision. That are you speaking for revenue generating purposes, or are you speaking for lead generating purposes? I love both, and obviously this is something where the strategy would inform the tactics. Because if you're going out, and here's what I recommend. Study the marketplace, look at the associations, the conferences, the events, the groups, make a list of 10 dream revenue opportunities where you've already vetted that they pay speakers and they pay speakers your fee. And those are going to go into a list that I call your dream revenue opportunities, or DRO. Then make a list of another 10 events that probably don't pay speakers, but your target market gathers there. This is an association or an event that they trust and respect, and all the right people go there. These are your dream exposure opportunities. So your DEO list, your dream exposure opportunities, those are where you are going for leads. The dream revenue opportunities is where you're going to get paid. Now, the beauty of this, of course, the whole purpose of lead generating speaking is to get follow-on business, either a full fee paid speech, workshop, training, consulting, package, coaching program, what have you.
Yeah.
Or to just build your, guess what, visibility, so that it's a marquee brand name. It's a marquee brand name conference. It's a marquee brand name group that's going to elevate and escalate your visibility for anything that you want to sell to anyone. It's going to go on that logo strip on your website. It's going to go in your bio. It's going to go on your LinkedIn profile. And I think part of what we're teaching in this entire series is not just get visible, but once you've gotten those visibility opportunities, market them. Don't keep them a secret. Tell people that you were featured at this conference, or you did a guest blog on this blog, or you were on a top 10 podcast, or whatever it might be. A lot of people get the media, but then they don't leverage and multiply the media.
That is so true. I love that you're sharing that. Is something that I did early on, probably because while I don't always think of all the great ideas, I'm pretty good at watching what other people do and kind of modeling people who are smarter than me. And I definitely saw leaders in the industry doing that early on. And so I feel like I did a good job of this. It's how I grew really quickly in the beginning. And probably you did too, David, is saying, I'm going to be speaking at this event. You definitely want to come. Let's have lunch, or, let's be sure we have a coffee if you're there, so I can say hi. Using pictures when you're at an event, even just having a friend snap a shot of you if you're on an expert panel or you're on the stage speaking, that instantly makes you attractive to people because you're desirable, right? You're obviously in a spotlight position, but being quiet. And I feel like it comes from a good place of being humble and being taught as children, like not to be braggadocious and all these good qualities that we want to have. But if we're doing that in our business, if we're hiding our business, that's not being humble, right? That's just keeping yourself a secret.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Yeah. So how does somebody break through and actually start activating? I mean, I know they could obviously take a course and study this, and you should if it interests you. But in the sake of the series, we want to just give people those getting started tips. How can they start activating, maybe get their first keynote talk or start to craft their first keynote talk? What do you think would be a great first step for somebody who wants to start adding this revenue to their business?
Sure. So I would say there's probably 3 or 4 steps that you can take immediately. Step number 1 is research. Research, data gathering, go online, figure out what are the big associations, conferences, groups, and events. Build those 2 lists, right? There's nothing more powerful than a written, finite, workable list of leads. If you say, oh, by the way, there's 7,500 business meetings in the US every single day, and there are 7,500 business meetings every single day in the US, that's overwhelming. You say, okay, I'm going to pick 20. I'm going to look at 20. I'm going to research 20. I'm going to find out what they are. That's going to activate my strategic outreach. Then what I would do is I would do some outreach. Guess what? Very, very simple outreach template. Pick up the phone, email, LinkedIn. It's all the same. Here's what it sounds like. Hey, Barbara, this is David Newman. I speak to groups of blank who want outcome and result. I'm calling to see if a program like this might be valuable for your members. I'll fill in the blank with me. So when I go out, I'm a marketing speaker and I speak to groups of small and solo business owners, right? Usually service professionals. Here's my phone call. Here's my email. Here's my LinkedIn message. Steal it. Use it, please. Here it is. Hi, Barbara. This is David Newman. I speak to groups of small and solo business owners who want to do a better job with their marketing and get more clients. I'm calling to see if a program like this might be valuable for your members. So I'm not doing my brand is do it marketing and I've got a best-selling book and look at my videos and look at my website and I'm really awesome. I am 100% focused on them, their event, their conference, their members, their attendees, what they want and what they need. I call this a door opening conversation. You start having 5, 10, 15 of these door opening conversations every week, you will get booked, you will get gigs, you will make money. The number one thing that I see holds speakers back, speakers, experts, coaches, and consultants who want these paid speaking gigs is they don't do the outreach. We've been so trained and so conditioned around inbound marketing and, just blog your brains out, start tweeting, do LinkedIn, pump a whole bunch of stuff out on your social media. That's not going to get you booked. People buy from people. You need to humanize your outreach. You need to reach out as a 3-dimensional human being. No outreach, no conversations, no business.
Well, boom, you're nailing it. And I hope those of you who are my clients, I see Dr. Terry is on, I think Susan's in one of our programs. You've heard me say this, so I love that you're reinforcing the golden rule, which is booking speaking gigs is not about you. Like, you don't even have to prove I'm a good speaker. You don't even have to have any conversation about you at all. This is the great relief if you've never booked a talk before, or you're new and nervous, or if you're already successful but you're looking for that bigger venue. The thing that activates people is your ability to help their audience. I always say focus on the audience, focus on the person booking you, and focus on the event, right? Those are the 3 things that you're really serving, which is just another way of expressing what you just said. That focus and that energy is what ignites people's interest in hiring you, right?
And here's the other thing that I think not a lot of folks listening and watching give enough credit. Our buyers, the meeting planners, the conference producers, the association executives, they are lazy, busy, and befuddled because everybody, you and I, Kristin, we are lazy, busy, and befuddled when we're running our business. We don't have time to think. We can't burn the mental calories to figure out, there's 74 speakers I could pick. Let me go and put them all in a spreadsheet. They're not going to do that. No. It's the speaker at hand is the speaker who gets hired. The one that picks up the phone, jumps on LinkedIn, sends that extra email, writes the handwritten note. Oh my God, did he just say handwritten note? Yes, I said handwritten
what? I don't
note.
understand.
It's the speaker that is visible and credible and who is there to serve. And I love that, that's Kristin's whole brand, right?
Yeah.
But literally the speaker who's there to serve, not all about them, but about the group, about the event, about making that person successful. They don't want to talk to 10 other speakers. They love you.
Yeah.
They have a relationship and rapport with you. They will invite you in.
Yeah, I love it. If you make it easy for people, they will say yes. And one of the things I learned early on, because I started speaking, I learned how to speak by working with a personal development company. And I would go out like 12 times a month was pretty normal because I would just speak everywhere and funnel people into their workshop. I would always get to the event like about an hour early or something. And one of the most common things that would happen is because I would be so early, they would still be like setting up the tables and getting ready for the meeting. And I would hear the organizers of the event talking. And one of the most common things I would hear is their fear of finding the next speaker for the next event and how worried they were and like, oh gosh, what are we going to do? So it's so important to remember whether you're talking about a local business association all the way up to a huge bright lights, big stage national conference, they're worried about having a great event. So when you come with the attitude of, hey, I want to help you have a great event too. How can I help? Would this topic help? Would this help your audience? Okay, what are you looking for in a great engaging talk? What lights your event up? When you come with that spirit of serving that higher goal, they are going to be so grateful. And the most common thing you're going to hear is thank you, right, David? Like, thank God you've called. We were just saying we need a marketing speaker. Right. Thanks, David.
Yeah. Let me add one more layer to this because I think what you said is so important, Kristin. When people are reluctant to reach out,
yes.
Here's why they're reluctant. Here's the questions that they have. Well, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to send. I don't know what to pitch. Do I send the one sheet? Do I send links to a video? Do I drive them to my website? What do I say?
Yes.
All of these questions are not questions because the answer to what do I say is nothing. A sales conversation is not you saying anything. It's questions that you ask. What do you send? What do you sell? What do you pitch? Again, wrong question. The answer, nothing. When you go in armed with smart questions and a deep level of curiosity and concern for them having a great event, now you're asking questions like, well, I see that the theme of the event is X, Y, and Z. I'm curious, why is the theme of the event the theme of the event? What's going on with your members? Is the economy affecting them, good, bad, or otherwise? Tell me about some speakers that were well received by the group. I don't need names, but tell me about speakers that were well received by the group and why you think they were well received. And then tell me about some speakers that were not so well received by the group and where you think they missed the mark. And if you have a combination, let's say, of content and motivation, you ask, well, what percentage, based on what you know about the group, what percentage of content versus what percentage of motivation do you think they might want and they might need? Because I can do 80% content, 20% motivation. I can do 50-50. I can do 90% motivation, 10% content. Where do you think this would land with your audience? I will guarantee, my friends, no other speaker, no other expert is coming on their radar asking these smart, deep, level 3 kind of penetrating questions. They say, well, when's your event? Hey, dummy, it's on the website. Well, where is it? It's in Vegas. Didn't you look at the website? So 10 minutes of preparation on the venue or the conference or the association website will put you miles ahead of any other speaker who's just a cold calling monkey. And you do not want to be a cold calling monkey. You want to do intelligent prospecting the way that we're talking about here.
I love that so much. I could kiss you through the screen. That is so true. And that kind of focus is what is so unique. You're right. They're gonna freak out because no one ever does that. The biggest mistake I think people make is feeling, and it comes from a good place, of feeling like they have to prove themselves, right? So then we accidentally, unintentionally start talking all about ourselves. Well, my name's Kristin Thompson. My company is Speak, Serve, Grow, and my program is Rock Your Talk. And I've been speaking all over the world, and I've been on this stage and that stage. And who wants to hear I is what I always joke, right? Yeah. I, please stop. But
that is so great.
just gave everybody those questions, and I hope you were writing them down. The recording of this, once it processes, will go on into the Highly Visible Entrepreneur Series website. So you're probably going to want to rewatch this and make sure you really get all of these tips down. But those questions, which you can copy and use, will help you have such a higher level, high service conversation. Not only will you get booked, but you'll get referred to other events because of how well you're treating your host right out of the gate.
Yeah.
So let's say somebody is brave enough to reach out. So important. We talk about that all the time here. Do your reach outs regularly, set a time, be picking up the phone, instant messaging people. Hey, how can I make your event amazing? How can I help? What do you need? Would this topic serve your group? What's to say somebody does that and they get invited to deliver a keynote talk? How should they handle that situation to make, I'm sure you have like a tip or two of like, how do I make the most out of that opportunity?
Sure. Well, this is what I call the dog caught the car, right? It's like the dog's chasing the car. It's like, okay, I'm doing my outreach. I'm making my calls. Whoa, I got one. Holy smokes. Like, the dog never catches the car, but like what happens when the dog catches the car? Well, here's what happens. Again, here is where a lot of speakers who want to get paid on the front end make a mistake. They have every kind of conversation with the meeting planner or the conference producer, except about the budget. So a client of mine said, hey, David, I just got invited to this group. It's 600 C-level executives. It's going to be a huge home run. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be whatever. And I said, well, what's the fee that you're getting? He says, I forgot to ask. I said, you know if they have a budget? I didn't even ask. I thought it was an honor. And again, this comes out of a place of humility and, not wanting to pitch and not wanting to sound greedy. But this is a business, my friends. This is a business. That's why it's called the visible entrepreneur, not the visible broke person. There's plenty of visible broke people.
The visible philanthropist. Yeah.
A visible entrepreneur would say, I would love to come and do your event, because the guy basically closed the deal without any money conversation.
Yes.
What I would do then is I would either go back, and what you should have done on the first call, but I would now go back and go, Bob, I am so sorry. We got so excited about all the great ideas about customizing the program for your group and really delivering a home run experience for them. I forgot to ask you, what's your budget? What is your budget for this keynote speaking slot? I would ask that budget question early and often in every sales conversation. Imagine if you're going into a car dealership or a furniture store or a jewelry store, a person says, hey, I'm looking for an engagement ring. They don't go, okay, here's your engagement ring. How much is it? $47,000. You'd say, well, first question, what's your budget or what's your budget range? How much were you looking to invest? Well, somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000. Fantastic. I'm going to show you these engagement rings, not those engagement rings, right? I'm going to show you the Rolex. I am not going to show you the crazy $800,000 watch made out of, ostrich poop or whatever it is. I'm not sure if they make watches out of ostrich poop, but I think they
might have banned that.
Yeah. So have the money conversation early and often. And by the way, this is true with everything. This is true with your coaching packages, consulting programs, training, seminars, workshops. If you don't know the budget, think about a doctor. Diagnosis, prescription, treatment, outcome. We're all in the doctoring business. Part of the diagnosis is what are the viable treatment options? The viable treatment options, if it's some crazy budget, then great. If it's like a budget of zero, but you're in the paid professional speaking business, that's not a fit. So one of the mantras that we teach is need, desire, and budget. In other words, they need it. It's relevant. They want it. There's a desire to solve this problem, and they can afford to pay you. They can afford to bring you in. If they fail any of those three tests, they are not a prospect. Never were, never will be. As my friend Mark Hunter likes to say, you will never convert a Walmart shopper into a Nordstrom's customer.
That is so true. And why would you want to? A, but B, you are bringing up a great point. And I learned a lot of things accidentally. And one of the times I learned this was I was speaking for free and selling a product, but then I got an invitation to do a keynote. And this happens oftentimes. If you do a really good job, even speaking for free, at some point, someone's going to say, how do I hire you? And I had no idea what to charge because I didn't have any experience. So I accidentally said your key magic phrase only because I had no idea how to even guess. So I just said, well, what would make this a win for you? How do we make this work for your budget? And I was so grateful I did it that way because, and you've probably found this with your clients, the number the gal said was 3 times the number I was going to say. Especially if you're brand new, you're going to tend to lowball. So that's a great way to not, and you talked about this at the beginning of this video, don't lowball and undercharge, you know, and that's a great way to avoid that. It's just to ask them, how can we make this work for your budget?
Absolutely right. And let me give people, because this is a big mystery of like, what's the market rate? Now, if you do a little bit of market research, and I really recommend you do a competitive scan of other speakers and experts and coaches and consultants in your niche. But once you do that competitive scan, and once you talk to enough meeting planners and conference producers, you'll realize that there is a floor, there is a cutoff point below which you are damaging your credibility if you charge less than this amount. Yes. Would you like to know this amount?
Yes. Everybody say yes in the comments.
Everyone's like, yes. What's the amount? What's the magic number?
You do want to know the answer to this question.
You really do. You really do. So I'll do a dramatic countdown. Ready? 3, 2, 1. $4,500. Oh. $4,500 is the demarcation point between an amateur, a dabbler, a beginner, and a newbie positioning now versus a true professional speaker. When your fee is $4,500 plus, and that could be all the way up to $10,000, $12,000, $15,000, $18,000, but we're talking about the minimum, that transmits to your buyer, oh, this person's a real professional. This person's a real expert. They have real value. They have real credibility. They must have visibility, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, in their marketplace because their value supports that fee. Let me repeat that. Their value supports that fee. You come in $1,500, $2,500, $3,000. They're going to think you're, some amateur goofball. The risk, and listen, I've talked to hundreds of meeting planners to validate this. And I've been a meeting planner, by the way, for a year as well, which didn't make it into my bio, but it's kind of a fun fact. Yeah. When you come in below $4,500, the risk factor in hiring you goes up. It is less risk to hire a $4,500 or $5,500 speaker than it is to hire a $1,500 speaker because they're like, oh my God, well, how good can she be? I'm really afraid, and I don't want to get fired for bringing this person in because if they suck, the entire event goes to hell in a handbasket. So you want to be reassuringly expensive.
I love this tip. I love it, love it, love it. I'm glad that you said it too, because I looked up quite a while back though, like what the average keynote speaker made, and it still might be true. It was closer to like $3,000. So that kind of makes sense that you would want to be a little above that, because if that includes everybody, we've got a bunch of people lowballing and only a few people who are like premier, speakers in the market. So that makes so much sense. And if you think about it from your own perspective as an expert, if you were going to go to a wealth building, if I said I was a wealth building expert, I'm hosting a workshop tomorrow where you can come learn how to be a millionaire in the next 5 years, and it's $7 to attend. You're going to be like, she's a scam artist, or there's just no reason to believe what I'm saying because the numbers don't align. They don't make sense. You can't be a wealth expert who can turn me into a millionaire and charge $7. Something's not adding up. Yeah. So for those of you who, if you're at all feeling hesitant about taking David up on his challenge, which is do not charge, learn how to give a good talk, but then do not charge under that $4,500 limit, because it is a flashing sign that says you don't know what you're doing. Right. So be cautious, get the proper training and strategy from people like David so that you know how to really harness those opportunities. But as you go out, you want to really hold your head high, put your shoulders back, and charge appropriately, and know that groups and organizations can handle that, right? That's a very budget and more.
Let me throw two more big ideas here because people might be kind of conflicted. They might be hearing different things from different people.
Okay.
Number one, a lot of people attribute to me that I say never speak for free. That is completely false.
Yes.
What the complete thought is never speak for free for no reason.
Which is very
important, right?
I applaud you.
Right. When Kristin says, go and get on these stages and you don't need to get paid on the front end, but you will get $10, $15, $20, $30,000 on the back end, that wasn't a free speech, my friends. That was a $15, $20, $30,000 speech. So speaking for free is awesome, but don't speak for free for no reason. Second point, which also about this pricing dichotomy of sometimes it's free, sometimes it's $4,500 or more. An early mentor of mine gave me a brilliant piece of advice that's been my guiding light for pricing ever since. Be expensive or be free. That's what she said to me. Be expensive or be free. All the content on your website, free, free, free. All the great stuff that you're doing, all the, lead generation activity that you're doing, free, free. The more free, the better. Now, when it comes time to get paid, it's really, really important that the price supports your positioning and your positioning supports the price. So this is not even about you making more money. I mean, you will make more money, and that's nice and that's great that you're making more money. That's awesome. But it's not about you making more money. It's what they need to pay to take you seriously. It's about what they need to pay to take you seriously. So please take that advice to heart. Be expensive or be free.
I love that. And I don't know what happened. I disappeared for a second.
I just kept on talking. It was good.
It was a magic trick.
That's right.
I was like, poof, and I'm back. I love that. Be expensive or be free. Don't waffle in the middle. And it is, look, Walmart makes a ton of money, but that's high volume. I always try to remind people, yes, you can charge very low prices, but you better be doing massive volume, which most of us are not. Most of us are service-based entrepreneurs. We're not Walmart. We don't have that huge power and velocity behind us. So please, charge fair rates so that you're allowing people to trust you, to get that your authority, that you know what you're doing, and capitalize them. I also loved that you decriminalized the idea of speaking for free, much like I don't criminalize keynote speaking. It's great. I encourage all of my clients, add that on to the other speaking that you're doing. If you enjoy speaking, why not make the most amount of revenue possible? And keynotes, money's in your hand. You can just relax and share and feel really free. When you speak more intentionally to sell products and programs, it's just a different goal and intention. You can still have a ton of fun. You're just going to get that revenue in a different way. We're going to use it more as a business builder, client attractor. Now, by the way, when you give a great keynote, I'm sure people are going to ask you about your course, your products, and how to work with you. Just like when you give great free talks, every top private client of mine are all also getting invites to give keynote talks. These two ways of speaking really just play together. So there's no war, just say yes and have a great time, build your authority, get visible, but really know how to capitalize it. Now, I know one of the things that you were so generous, besides being so generous with your time and sharing so many great tips, people in the comments are already saying, oh my gosh, I already know I need to rewatch this because the tips are coming so fast. But because of that, and because you're so generous, we have the free gifts. We're giving it for free, but it's extremely high value that people can get access to this free training inside the series. So if you look in the comments right below this video, I've popped the link in a few times. If you're not already signed up, do sign up because you're going to want to have access to this video so you can rewatch it. You're going to get the other trainings, but also David's gift, which is called Sell More Speaking. It is going to help you obviously sell more speaking, but I want to let David kind of tell you all the goodies inside so that you can go grab that.
Sure, absolutely. Well, I mean, I literally wish we had 3 hours today. Sadly, we don't. So, but I mean, we're touching on all of these things that in the Sell More Speaking Masterclass you're going to get access to. Deep dive on pricing. I mean, I threw out a number and I didn't have time to give you all the kind of the background and the texture and the research behind it, but you'll see where that number comes from. Positioning, packaging, other profit centers that you can use before the speech, during the speech, after the speech. It's kind of a 7-part model that's in there that will help you dial in your strategy, your prospecting, your outreach, some leverage and scaling strategies that we haven't even talked about. Things like sponsored speaking, things like licensing, things like certifying other speakers and trainers to deliver your material. So really it's about the business model, the service model, and the revenue model behind a healthy multi-revenue stream speaking business. And it really puts speaking in a bigger box, like I said at the top of our show here today, that it's really about not just speaking, but everything that's connected to your speaking when you're marketing your smarts, when you're selling your thought leadership in lots of different formats and lots of different flavors.
I love it. Yeah, we're trying to really keep these trainings kind of rip-roaring and tight so you can get in, get some great tips, get started, and get on the road. But David could sit here, we could be here for the rest of the day and we wouldn't run out of training and great things to share with you. So he has been kind enough to kind of package all of that together in his Sell More Speaking program, which you get to go get access to for free. Just look down in the comments, click the link, or if you're on David's email list, he's already sent you an email. Go find that email in your inbox from David if you're on one of his subscribers, and click through. Sign up so you can watch this replay. There's other trainings, but be sure to look under the bonuses. It says all bonuses. When you click there, you will get this free gift that David is so generous to share with all of you. It's called Sell More Speaking. All you need to do is click on it, tell him where to send it, and it'll be in your inbox. Lickety splickety. David, I just adore you. I hope you know that we see things so similarly, not that that's a requirement for me to adore somebody.
But it sure helps, right?
But it's so fun when you feel like someone really gets, how to show up and be of service and be a positive voice in the world so that you can help more people. But let's do that in a way where you're growing your business, because it's real hard to be helpful when you're struggling and you're in a very scary, vulnerable place. We want your business thriving, solid, profitable. We want you confident, having fun when you're out there sharing your message. So I know today's training was super fast. Watch the replay, get into his free gift so you can get that deeper training. And we hope to see all of you at the Rise Live event. I'll share with you tomorrow a little bit about how you can come to the Rise. If you are sharing this broadcast 3 times, you'll be entered to win a ticket along with my Command Any Room course. But everyone will have the ability to secure their seat while we're doing this promotion at a very VIP, easy to say yes to investment. But it's really 3 days of amazing training. If you combine that with the work that you're already doing with David, if you're one of his clients or one that will be soon, you're really going to become a powerhouse in leveraging speaking to grow your business. Even if you never set foot on the stage, which I hope you do, please continue to watch this series, as each day we're bringing you new tips on how to get visible. Not every platform is perfect for every person, but most of you are teachers at heart. And if you are, the stage or the front of the room is absolutely the place for you. David, I want to thank you so much. We'll have to schedule another live another time, because I know we just have so much to share with people.
I know, it's going to be great.
Yeah, we'll meet up and share more nuggets with you all soon. Until then, get highly visible. Click the link below, get David's stuff, and we'll see you back here tomorrow at 11:30. I will be back showing you how to leverage one-to-many opportunities and close more clients without being pushy. It is going to be a game changer. I'm excited to see you all soon. Thank you, David, and thank you, rock stars watching. Make it a great day.